Did you know that many of the things we use in modern life, things we don't even think twice about, were actually invented by the Romans? From the roads we travel on to the buildings we live and work in, the influence of ancient Rome is everywhere, even in the technology we use today. So, what exactly did the Romans do for us? The answer is more than you might expect. Join me as we uncover how ancient Roman innovations have shaped everything from our legal systems to our architecture and even our daily routines, proving that their influence is still very much alive. Roman roads. Let's begin with one of the most iconic contributions of the Romans, their incredible road network. If you've ever driven along a modern highway or interstate, you're walking in the footsteps of the Romans. The Roman road system spanned over 250,000 miles at its peak, connecting every corner of the empire. These roads were meticulously constructed with multiple layers to ensure durability, beginning with a foundation of large stones, followed by smaller crushed stones and gravel, and topped with tightly fitted paving stones. What made them stand out was their engineering. Roads were designed with a slight curve to allow for drainage, preventing rainwater from damaging the surfaces. Many of these roads are still in use today, particularly in Europe. The Roman roads didn't just provide a means of transport, they were vital to the success of the empire, allowing for swift communication, military movement, and trade across vast distances. Without these roads, the empire would have never been able to thrive or remain unified for centuries. Roman law. Now, let's talk about one of Rome's most lasting legacies, their legal system. The Roman Empire had a highly developed set of laws that laid the foundation for many of the legal principles we use today. Concepts like innocent until proven guilty, the right to a defense in court, and the idea of a fair trial all originated from Roman law. In fact, much of modern Western legal systems, especially in Europe and the Americas, is rooted in Roman law. The Romans were also the first to create a legal code that could be applied to all citizens within their empire, a truly groundbreaking idea at the time. One of the most famous contributions is the 12 Tables, a set of laws that was publicly displayed in the Roman Forum, ensuring that everyone knew their rights and obligations. The legacy of Roman law can still be seen in the legal frameworks used by countries around the world, proving that justice, in some form, has been a cornerstone of civilization for millennia. Roman architecture and engineering. When we think of Roman architecture, images of grandiose structures like the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and the Roman Forum come to mind. But what we often overlook is the Roman genius behind these feats of engineering. Romans were pioneers in the use of concrete, which allowed them to construct massive, durable buildings that would last through the ages. This invention of Roman concrete was a game changer and is still the reason why many ancient Roman buildings remain standing today. The Romans also perfected the use of the arch, creating more stable structures and allowing for the construction of larger and more intricate buildings. The dome, as seen in the Pantheon, was another Roman innovation that has influenced modern architecture. These engineering marvels didn't just serve as monuments, they were functional, with aqueducts bringing water to cities and public baths, serving as centers of hygiene and socialization. Even today, modern engineering and architectural designs still rely on these Roman principles, whether it's the use of arches in bridges or concrete in skyscrapers. Roman sanitation and public health. The Romans were far ahead of their time when it came to public health and sanitation. In the heart of their bustling cities, the Romans implemented advanced systems for clean water and waste disposal, which were revolutionary for their era. One of the most impressive achievements was the Roman aqueducts, which transported water from distant sources into cities and towns, ensuring a reliable supply of fresh water for bathing, drinking, and irrigation. The Romans also built public latrines, bathhouses, and the famous Cloaca Maxima, one of the world's oldest sewage systems. The ingenuity behind these systems helped prevent the spread of disease, setting a standard for urban planning that wasn't matched again until the 19th century. These early sanitation efforts were key to Rome's ability to support its large population, and many of the systems they implemented are still reflected in modern plumbing and public health infrastructures. Roman military strategy and innovation. The Roman military was the backbone of the empire's power, and its tactics and innovations revolutionized warfare. The Roman legions were highly disciplined, and their military strategies, organization, and engineering feats set them apart from any army before them. They were the first to implement standardized training and equipment for their soldiers, ensuring that each legionary could work as part of a coordinated, efficient unit. Romans also created the testudo formation, a tactic in which soldiers would align their shields to form a nearly impenetrable wall. This made them virtually unstoppable in battle. But it wasn't just their strategies that made them successful. It was their innovation in military engineering. Roman soldiers were trained as builders, constructing roads, forts, bridges, and siege weapons wherever they went, enabling them to dominate and fortify conquered territories. Many of the tactics and engineering practices developed by the Romans are still studied in military academies today. Roman language and literature. We can't talk about the Romans without mentioning Latin, the language of the empire. While Latin itself isn't spoken widely today, it profoundly influenced the languages we speak. Latin evolved into the Romance languages, Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian, forming a linguistic family that's spoken by over 900 million people worldwide. But Latin's impact extends beyond these languages. It's the foundation for much of English vocabulary, especially in fields like science, law, and religion. Many scientific terms, medical terminology, and even common phrases like etc. or verses come from Latin roots. Roman literature, from the epic poetry of Virgil to the philosophical writings of Cicero, also laid the groundwork for Western literature and thought, influencing writers and thinkers for centuries. As we've seen, the Romans did far more for us than just conquer lands. They left a lasting legacy that still impacts our daily lives. Their innovations in roads, law, architecture, sanitation, military strategy, and language continue to shape the world in ways we often take for granted. The next time you step onto a road, hear a Latin phrase, or marvel at the structure of a modern building, remember that the Romans paved the way for much of what we enjoy today. They truly created the foundations of the world we live in. What Roman innovation do you think has had the biggest impact on our world today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more ancient insights. Thanks for watching Ancient Echoes. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.